Welcome to a new episode of World Stories. We'll be taking you on an exciting journey all over the world, full of various strange fun facts and stories in a journey this week. We'll show you how a European country celebrates its Unification Day in Bahrain. Have you guessed it yet? We'll show you how truck drivers in Russia sort out men from boys. We'll take you to a cake festival where you'll see cakes that look anything but a cake. This and much more exciting stories in a journey around the world. Fasten your seatbelts. "29 years ago, a European country was unified after it was divided into two. Have you guessed which country it is? You're right, it's Germany. And the day we're talking about is a day Germans will never forget. We'll take you to the celebration of this special day in Bahrain and enjoy together different aspects of the German culture, from clothes to food and much more. The Day of German Unity is the most significant day in German history, and it means a lot to the German people. Let's see how they celebrate it here in Bahrain. A very important aspect about any culture is its food. Since we're celebrating the German culture today, we're celebrating it with a lot of German dishes representing different regions. Renee here today will explain to us the dishes and tell us what they represent.
Yeah, let's start in the north of Germany, where we have the Baltic Sea on the east side and the North Sea. And a typical dish is the Fischbrötchen. The Fischbrötchen is basically a fish in a bun. So it can be rollmops or it can be baked fish.
So what does it represent? Like, why is it the characteristic of the northern Germany, for example?
Because there's the best fish from.
So this is where this fish originates? Okay, and people like celebrate and eat it on feasts, for example. When do they eat it, or it's like a day-to-day dish?
It's now it's developed more in a type of a street food. Yeah, people enjoy it the whole day.
Tell us, Renee, what's our next dish? Where are we heading?
Now we're heading to Berlin, the capital of Germany. And believe it or not, one important dish in the history is created in Berlin, the currywurst. The currywurst was created in 1946 in Berlin. Berlin was ruled after the Second World War in the British zone, the US zone, and the Russian zone, and the French zone. And apparently a British influence brought the curry powder to Berlin. And butcher created with the ingredients curry, the currywurst.
So when do usually people eat it? Like, is it an everyday dish? They eat it on feasts, or when?
It's an everyday dish. People love it. It's street food, it's culture, it's lifestyle.
So where are we heading now? Take us to the next dish.
Now we're heading to Dresden. While you will find schnitzel or Wiener Schnitzel, Wien is actually in Austria, but you will find the schnitzel all over Germany. Yeah, and so, but Dresden also represents history in Germany.
We're not very familiar with this schnitzel. What is it?
It's veal. It's a flattened, paneed with breadcrumbs and then baked in oil. We're eating with cauliflower, yeah, and potatoes, some cheese sauce on it. I love it.
I've seen here a multiple of delicious dishes here. Tell me more. Do you have more dishes? Tell me more about German food.
Of course we're having more. I mean, we cannot display everything today, but basically every family have their own recipes. Every region have their own specialities. It's very diverse what we have on offer in the German cuisine.
We have with us here Penelope, celebrating the German culture with a wonderful German outfit. She'll tell us more about it.
So my name's Penelope, and I lived in Germany for 10 years, and my husband worked in the Bavaria region. And so the dirndl is a traditional dress for German women to wear in the Bavaria region. And it's oftentimes worn as everyday clothing, but then they also have more beautiful ones that are more ornate or that have a black skirt, and that's specifically for more dressy or formal occasions. And so I wore my formal dirndl today to celebrate. So there's a dress, and then there's an over apron that goes with it. And the one thing I do know that's a little unique about it is depending on where you put the bow. So because I'm married, I put the bow on the right-hand side versus in the center. And if it was in the center, it would mean that I was single.
Do you know the history of this outfit?
I do believe that the everyday wear was a little bit more designed for women who were out there working. So it had a wide, broad skirt to it so that you could work out in the field or if you were doing chores and those types of things.
So how do you feel about wearing it today?
Well, I enjoy wearing them. I wore them for years when I lived in Germany. They're very comfortable, and they're easy to get around, and they're easy to put on. So I do like that aspect about it.
This day represents a miracle because for so many years Germany and Europe was divided in the Cold War. Reunification seemed like a far dream, but then the will of the German people to live in one state and also the support of all the partners of Germany helped to reunite Germany 29 years ago.
For me, this is very important. The opening of the eastern part of Germany was a very important chapter in the history in Germany. So it was so nice to see happy people, and I just enjoy when everybody is living together, is having a great time together, enjoy being together no matter where they come from.
Tonight we are celebrating our National Day, the day of the reunification here in Bahrain. We are celebrating every year. This is the highlight of the year. And we enjoy it very much. Really, everybody is coming together. We are all coming together. And you know that this day is a very special day for all of us. Everybody in Germany has a bit of a relation to the former east of Germany, and we're so happy that the wall came down.
It's a great day for us because in 1990, in 1989, the wall came down, and now we're celebrating each and every day, or each year, on the 3rd of October, our National Day, the unification, and it means a lot because we were separated, the two countries, and now we're one. So it's quite a important day for us.
We enjoyed celebrating today different aspects of the German culture on a very special day, the Day of German Unity. From the celebrations in Bahrain to celebrations in Germany itself, people across Berlin remember that turbulent time, and one panoramic artwork transports people back to the 1980s when the wall divided the city. The exhibition in Berlin takes viewers back in time to 3 decades ago. The Panorama exhibition showcases the Berlin Wall on a 900 square meter large polyester fabric. The East German authorities called it back in time the anti-fascist barrier, but it was clear that it was meant to stop people fleeing to East Germany. The first more temporary structures, such as fences and smaller walls, were eventually replaced by a large permanent wall structure. On the eastern side of it, there was a large zone where people were not allowed to pass, complete with mines and snipers and guard towers. It was called the Death Strip. Real stories from that time around the wall were used to make the panorama. At a press conference, an official for the East German government somewhat mistakenly declared that the borders of East Germany would be opened. Next, the news spread fast, and tens of thousands of people gathered at the border crossings, demanding to be let through. In the end, the guards opened the gates, and Berlin Wall was soon after torn down. This is how truck drivers in Russia sort out the men from the boys. They gather at a festival to show off what they and their trucks can do. As well as truck racing, competitors have to perform exercises, including single-handedly pulling a truck of more than 7 tons. Proving you can hold a lorry on your shoulders is part of the scene here. Competitors have to perform 5 exercises, including pulling a truck of more than 7 tons weight quicker than anyone else. This festival in Moscow is an opportunity for Russia's army of truck drivers to come together, compete, and have a good time. The pride many truckers have in their vehicles is plain to see. Many are customized to reflect the driver's personality. It's after sunset that the races start, and these truckers are getting to really show what they can do. These multi-ton beasts of the road are put through their paces, and the audience on the sides of the roads cheer for them. 15 private trucks of American and European origin took part in the event, coming from different cities. My favorite thing about this is that there are women among the truck drivers as well. The more we learn, the more we realize how little we know about the world. Let's explore some interesting and entertaining facts to twist your brain and tickle your curiosity. Baby Dumping Festival. Yes, that's what they call it, and it's literally that. Celebrated each year in a small town in Spain, the Salto del Colacho is a week-long celebration showcasing men dressed as the devil, terrorizing locals and dumping over babies. The celebration is believed to cleanse the newborns of their original sins. That's interestingly odd. Chewing gum is a common habit around the world. Everybody needs to chew a gum every once in a while, don't we? But that's not an option in Singapore. The country banned gum and gum chewing in 1992. There is one exception, however. If you can prove that chewing gum has a therapeutic value, then you can have it. Can anyone prove that, please? Blue whales are the largest animals that ever lived on the planet. You probably know that, but did you know that a blue whale's heart is in the size of a Mini Cooper? I bet you didn't. And because of that, it's no surprise that a small child could swim through their veins and arteries so easily. That's incredible. An apple, potato, and an onion all taste the same if you eat them with your nose plugged. It sounds suspicious, but you should try it. But let me explain. Our sense of taste is 80% made up of our sense of smell, so if you close your eyes and plug your nose, you won't be able to differentiate. Would you dare to take the challenge? At last, technology can be used for a good cause. The creators of a small avatar robot are hoping it will offer a solution to loneliness and isolation. We'll tell you the story of a robot that allows a young disabled girl to experience the outside world. It allows users, including those who are bedridden or have physical limitations, to experience more of the outside world from the comfort of their own home. This little robot is controlled by 6-year-old Yurina Furikawa, who is in her home in Japan's Yokohama City. By using a smartphone or tablet, Yurina can access Orihime from anywhere in the world. It allows her to see through the robot's eyes and interact with those around it through both gestures and voice communications. Users of a robot are able to visit places and attend events that they may not otherwise be able to travel to, despite their physical limitations. The technology can even be set up so the user can control their avatar using only their eyes. The avatar also allows users to take a more active role by being able to make gestures and speak with those around them, letting students participate in a class, for example. It certainly expanded her everyday experience. She was able to use the avatar for the first time earlier this month to virtually attend a concert of one of her favorite pop bands in Yokohama with her aunt. You can grab a slice of Bodo at this year's Cake and Bake Show in London, where the theme is Illusion Cakes Bakes. Forget waxworks, anything can be made into cake at London's biggest annual baking event. This year's cake show's competition theme is Illusion Cakes, meaning a cake that looks anything but a cake. Competition entrants are embracing the show's illusion cake theme with frogs, parrots and clowns that look good enough to eat. The idea is not just a cake that you eat, it's also a centerpiece. Some cases take weeks or even months to make. Every shape that crossed your mind, from quirky quake sculptures to Noah's Ark-themed bake, it's food art. Cake artists say the boundaries are being pushed every day. Technology is advancing. There's more available materials. There's different types of icing. There's also different types of airbrushes just to get those realistic textures and colors. Visitors can have go themselves in this donut decorating area. They might not be able to achieve the same level of detail, but at least it tastes really good.
This is an illusion cake, so the idea of this cake is that it's to trick you, right? So if I have tricked you, then I've done well. But everything here is made from cake, covered in modelling chocolate, sugar paste. I've used some specialist products like isomalt to achieve certain finishes, but I can assure you it is all cake.
Sleepyheads out there, how would you feel if you were so sleepy but you're still craving a yummy ice cream? Would you leave it or eat it? It's not gonna wait for you. Let's see how this little girl handled the situation. With this, we have arrived at our last station. Goodbye and see you next week with new facts, journeys, and world stories.